present Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
We are coming to you from Busch Stadium in beautiful St. Louis, Missouri, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, A.J. Pierzynski, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Mike Matheny's defending world champion, St. Louis Cardinals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, and it will be the rubber match. We took the opener 6-1, a couple of home runs from Dunn and Pierzynski. Jose Quintana picking up the victory. Then last night, Jake Peavy was just awesome, going 7 innings, giving up 1 run on 4 hits, but that 1 run was enough for the Cardinals to win because Lance Lynn picked up his 10th victory. They won that ball game 1-0. And tonight, Gavin Floyd.
Gavin Floyd's really been struggling. He's 4-6 this year. His ERA up close to 5.5. And the last 2 times out, covering 11-plus innings, he's given up 6 home runs. So he has a period like this each and every year. Hopefully he can snap out of it. The good thing about last time out, his curveball was the best it's been in a long time, and hopefully that'll hold him in good stead tonight against a team that's largely right-handed. On the other side of the field, you got Jake Westbrook. Now, Westbrook is 8-13 lifetime against our Sox, so we saw him a lot when he was with Cleveland. We hit him pretty well. This year, he's also 4-6. His ERA is up there. He's a sinker baller whose sinker is not sinking. That's usually a good sign. We haven't lost a road series in a month. Let's not lose one now.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Hey everyone, Chuck Arfine, our Comcast Sportsnet Studios. We'll get you back out to St. Louis for the first pitch in a moment. But first, 2 key lineup changes tonight. Adam Dunn back in the Sox lineup, batting third, playing left field. He'll have a sprained right ankle, heavily wrapped. Cardinals slugger Carlos Beltran not playing tonight. He's out with a stomach virus. It got so bad last night he had to go to the emergency room after the game. He might be available to pinch hit, however. The Sox got help from the Reds this week. Cincinnati trying to finish a sweep of the Indians this afternoon. And we pick it up here, Shin-Soo Choo leading off the game, takes Mike Leake to center. He homered twice in the game, did Choo. But back come the Reds. Bottom of the first, Joey Votto. A 3-run homer also to dead center. His 12th, the Reds jump in front 3-2. Bottom of the fifth, 6-3 Cincinnati, Ryan Ludwig. Deep, far, way back, and he knows it's gone. His 9th. The Reds pound the Indians 12-5 for the sweep. How about the Tigers taking on the Cubs at Wrigley today? Justin Verlander looking for his first win in a month. Alfonso Soriano swinging. And Brian LaHare swinging. Next up, Steve Clevenger. He goes down looking. Oh, that's just a nasty, filthy pitch. Top of the 7th, tied at 2, man on for Austin Jackson. He singles to left. Ryan Rayburn scores. Detroit grabs the lead 3-2. Bottom of the 8th, Reed Johnson swinging. Verlander struck out 8 over 8. Tigers win 5-3. Here are the AL Central standings right now. The Tigers 4.5 games back of the White Sox, and after losing 3 in a row, the Indians trail by 2. The Sox's biggest lead this year has been 2.5. After pitching in a rehab start a couple days ago in the minors, John Dank says his left shoulder feels sore right now. He's scheduled to throw a bullpen session tomorrow. How he does and how he feels afterwards will dictate if he comes back on Monday against the Cubs or not. All right, it's time for baseball. Bill Melton joins me after the final out for White Sox Postgame Live. Hawk and Steve standing by for the call. The White Sox and the Cardinals are coming up.
Welcome back to Busch Stadium. It's been 3 beautiful days in St. Louis. We split the first 2 games of the series, and Johnny Danks actually had a rehab start. He went 4 innings, threw the ball pretty well. There he is in the dugout tonight. Obviously, everybody hoping that he gets better soon. Anticipated maybe 1 more rehab start and see just how he comes out of it. Said he was a little sore after the last one, but hopefully that's just natural soreness. He hadn't been out there for a bit. So some of our reporters talked to Robin Ventura about John Danks before the game.
Not necessarily. I mean, you send him back out and get his feel after another one. I don't know if it does that, but you just watch it. I just want him to be as healthy as he possibly can be before he goes out there, and that's the first thing.
I think he had a little soreness after his first side session back too. So is it almost? I mean, is it more than you thought, or is it?
I think everybody has that. Everybody has that soreness, but he's the one that knows whether it's that good one or, it's the same thing creeping back up again. So, he won't pitch if it's one of those that he feels like he did before.
Well, hopefully John Danks can return to the rotation in his stead. Jose Quintana has done just a magnificent job. And so the Cardinals take the field. Time now for the Miller Time lineup of our Sox. Let's see how Robin is going to line them up tonight. Alejandro Diaza, who has been everything in the leadoff spot, with Gordon Beckham second and Adam Dunn back in the lineup. That's a good sign. Paul Konerko in cleanup, then Alex Rios, A.J. Pierzynski, Alexei Ramirez, Orlando Hudson, and Gavin Floyd, the starting pitcher. The defensive setup and how they'll line up for the Cardinals. Holiday, Chambers, and Craig left to right. Freeze for Cal, Descalso, and Adams in the infield. Yadier Molina, the fine catcher behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jake Westbrook. ERA 4.25, the record 4-6. He hasn't won in a long time. Opponents hitting .281, which is very high. As you can see, left-handers have been wearing him out at .304, and he's 8-13 lifetime against our Sox. The umpires for the game tonight. The crew chief, Tim Sheeta, behind the plate. Jeff Nelson is at first. Corey Blazer is at second, and Chris Guccione is at third. Since May 17th, nobody has been better than our Sox. 17-7, a 7.08 clip. Then it's the Yankees, the Giants, who, by the way, saw Matt Cain throw a perfect game for them last night. Then the Angels, Nationals, and Pirates. So they're throwing the ball around the infield. We're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this three-game set and the third of this six-game road trip. We'll finish it off 3 against the Dodgers starting tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium. But before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As Alejandro Diaza gets set for the first pitch of the ball game, and it is taken for a strike. Here at Busch Stadium, 336 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gap, send 400 straightaway center. And the count 0-2.
If Westbrook continues to get that last pitch, he's probably going to have a pretty good night.
They're going to stay out there, and why not? Too far. But Tim Cheetah, one of the best in the business. Westbrook will get it and throw it, and that's fouled away. Sox come in hitting at .258 as a club with a 3.95 ERA. Sox 6 over at 34-28. And right now, as we speak, we have a 2-game lead over the Tribe, who were thumped by Cincinnati today, 12-5. Watch out. Count hangs at a ball and 2 strikes. Also, the Tigers beat the Cubs 5-3 at Wrigley. So the Tigers now just 4.5 back as we speak. There's a chopper 2 hopper. And that's out number 1. That'll bring up Beckham.
It's not a real good sign early when Westbrook is throwing sinkers and he's getting ground balls, because that's his bread and butter. He does have a slider also, but the sinker's his pitch. He had 3 very good years with the Cleveland Indians, 4, 5, and 6. Won 14, 15, and 15 games.
Guess and strike, didn't get it. 0-1 to count. Gordon at .233, 8 homers and 27 driven in. Now feel around to the right. Gap out there in left center. Looks like Chambers is going to move around more than. Not a good swing right there.
2 sliders on the first 2 pitches, and they both were well out of the zone.
Sacks it up 1-2. Sox 18-10 on the road. That's the best in Major League Baseball. Staying out there, misses, and the count 2-2. Westbrook, 34 years old, out of Athens, Georgia. Jake, 6'3", 210 pounds. 1 game under in his career at 89 up and 90 down. Ball line just foul by Beckham.
Westbrook originally came up with the New York Yankees. Then shuttled over to Cleveland in 2001, where he stayed for a long time.
High into center field. That's a can of corn for Chambers. And right now let's check out our Farmers Insurance picks to click tonight. Jumanji, our director and crew, Hudson, Steve Pierzynski, Matt McEntee, and all the good folks at Green Golf Properties. Now we're going to go with Gordon Beckham. And here's Adam. Adam rolled over that right ankle on that home run swing in the game 1. Did not start last night. Came on the pinch hit. But he said it feels perfectly good now. Got the shift on. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Westbrook. After half inning of play, it's our guys nothing and their guys coming back.
Time now for the Miller Time St. Louis lineup. And that's how Mike Matheny's going to line them up for Cal, Descalso, Holiday, Craig, Freese, Yadier Molina, with Adams, Chambers, and Westbrook rounding it out. The defense. And how they'll line up behind Gavin Floyd. It's Dunn, Diaza, and Rios left to right with Hudson, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko. A.J. Pierzynski with a nod behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Gavin Floyd. Gavin at 4-6 ERA, .538, which is awfully high. Got to keep the ball in the ballpark. Left-handers have particularly hurt him. Hopefully he'll have the same kind of curveball he had last time out.
Well, he did not hang one curveball in his last outing. He was beat on 4 fastballs. If he does that tonight, if he gets his curveball and keeps it right where it was, he should have a good outing. So the 34-year-old veteran shortstop, switch hitting Rafael Furcal will lead it off, hitting at .294, 5 homers and 29 knocked in. Cardinals hitting at .274 as a club with a 3.90 ERA. Make no mistake about it, this is a good ball club, especially when they're healthy. Hudson at the cut of the grass at third. Paulie halfway at first. And there's strike 1. Furcal 0 for 8 in the first 2 games. And as a matter of fact, he's 0 for his last 19. 0-2 the count.
In an effort to get more left-handers in the lineup and try to neutralize that real good curveball, Adams and Chambers getting their first starts of the series.
This is the 21st meeting in interleague play. In the first 20, Cardinals have won 11. He gone.
Gavin starts it out. Once again, he's got a pretty good curveball as A.J. smothers it and makes the play at first easily. So good beginning.
It'll bring up Descalso, hitting at .224, 3 homers and 9 knocked in. He was 0 for 3 last night. Another night game on getaway day.
Late landing in LA and then playing tomorrow night.
That's popped up left side. Adam. And that's out number 2. Well, we are supposed to arrive in LA at 1:50 in the morning.
Assuming all goes well, we play a full 9, win by just a couple of runs, just enough to depress them. Come out of town with yet another road victory.
Enough to depress them. Huh?
Yeah, just enough.
Here's Holiday, hitting at .276, 10 homers and 35 driven in. Matt 2 for 7 in the series in lifetime. Against Floyd, he's faced him 8 times, has 2 hits, 1 of which stayed in the park. Cardinals 15 and 14 here at home, 17 and 17 on the road.
Gotta be careful if you're going to throw fastballs away to Holiday. That's what he really likes. Now you can get it in on his hands and you can tie him up.
Chopper 2 hopper. Nice 1-2-3 inning for Gavin. After 1, no score.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, as you know, we're over 500. But what you probably don't know is, although there's a long way to go, records above 500 through 62 games. This is our 63rd since 2000. First, third, first, second, and first. So things bode well for the start the Sox have gotten off to this year.
Paul will lead it off. That sinker. 1 pitch, 1 out. Paulie came in hitting at .366 with 12 homers and 35 knocked in.
Well, 3 of the 4 batters have beat it right into the ground. And that's a good sign for Westbrook and not a particularly good sign for our hitters unless he starts getting it up.
Well, that's the first thing in order right there is the hitter go to the plate. You say to yourself, make him get it up.
Especially with Westbrook struggling lately, but sinker looks good tonight.
First pitch strike. Alex Rios hitting at .294, 6 homers and 32 knocked in. Alex gave us a chance to tie that ball game up last evening with the leadoff triple in the 5th inning. But Lance Lynn was up to the task, struck out the side. Our guys were really impressed with that 25-year-old right-hander.
I can understand how they would be.
Yeah.
Well, he changed eye levels as well as anybody we've seen in baseball this year.
There's another chopper 2 hopper. 2 down. Sox fans, on Wednesday, June 20th at 7:10, our White Sox take on the Cubs. Now, this game is presented by United Airlines. United, proud to fly the Chicago White Sox. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. And plenty, 18th, 19th, and 20th, plenty of good seats available. So 866 Sox game. Check it out. Here's AJ hitting at 293, 11 homers. He's driven in 40. 5 out of 6 grounders, and he's retired everybody. Well, you never like to lose a ball game, but last night was one heck of a baseball game. That was real baseball. I love those games where every pitch is meaningful, and last night Jake Peavy was just awesome, as we mentioned at the top. Steve, 7 innings, 1 run, only 4 hits, but that 1 run cost him.
Well, unfortunately, Carlos Beltran, who was not in the lineup tonight, was in the lineup last night. He went 3 for 3 against Jake, but the big one, the home run. Peavy could hardly be any better. The problem was Lance Lynn on the other side of the field set a career high with 12 strikeouts. And he was absolutely brilliant. So he ran his record to 10-2 this year. You look at those numbers with just 1 walk. That walk was an intentional walk. So Lynn was brilliant. Jake was almost brilliant. And yet Jake came out on the short end. His record falling to 6-2, but almost each and every time out, he's thrown the ball exceptionally well.
No score here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. It'll be Craig, Freese, and Molina to face Gavin Floyd. There are the numbers on Craig, who is 2 for 6 with an RBI in the series. That ball into the gap. Nobody's going to get it. So that fastball, first ball Honey, the leadoff double.
Craig and Freese both have power to the opposite field. And Craig has had some problems with his legs, so he's not running particularly well. This fastball is probably on the inner third. He just absolutely crushes it. No chance at all for Diaza. So the first hit for either team is a 2-base hit to the opposite field.
That's his 8th double. And here's David Freese, who's 3 for 7 in the series.
Sox defense playing Freese as an off-field hitter, trying to take away that gap in right center that he so very much enjoys.
And that ball, that fastball. So back-to-back doubles, and it's 1-0 St. Louis.
Javier, number 41. And even though they shifted that way, they could not stop a line drive rocket. So Gavin throws a cutter, which for him is becoming more and more frequent and might be taking some velocity away from that fastball.
Well, his fastball's 91, 92 in that range. It was an 85-mile-an-hour cutter.
Yep.
That's going to get the job done. Nice play by Alexei. Freese in the third, so Molina is retired. And our Sox and Cubs rivalry continues this season as the winner of the series takes home the BP Crosstown Cup. Great seats are still available for the Sox Cubs June 18th, 19th, and 20th. That's what we'll be playing when we come home Sunday from LA. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday against the Cubs. Visit whitesox.com or call 866 Sox game. Infield in for Matt Adams. Big, strong, left-handed hitter. Hitting at 254, a couple of homers. He's driven in 10. Last year at Springfield, hit 300 with 32 homers and drove in 101.
He's kind of gone backwards. He had a great spring. The glove isn't all that good. He is very strong, but I think Gavin can use his aggressiveness against him, because he's going to swing at most everything.
That breaking ball down. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a big out right here. A redo. He went. 2 down. He gone.
He appealed to Chris Guccione, and he said he went too far. We'll take it.
Breaking ball down and in, and here's Chambers. Adron hitting at 207, no homers. He's driven in 3.
You can't move that far back. The reason is he's got tremendous speed, but they're not going to even let him show it. As Westbrook, not the greatest hitter in the world, but an okay hitter.
Westbrook 4 for 23. And good speed aboard. Adron last year at Memphis stole 22 bases. So 2 out runners at the corners, 1 in. AJ with the block.
Gavin does have 3 wild pitches this year, so AJ is going to really have to be heads up tonight. Hit a pitcher with as good a curveball as Gavin has, especially his wipeout curveball. It's a handful for any catcher.
Good lead by Chambers. And the count 2-0. Now about a half a step bigger by Adron. Does not go. And the count 3-0.
You see it a lot, and you hate to see it. The intentional walk, the unintentional walk. But it leads you to for call with the bases loaded if you don't get Westbrook.
There's one. Now feels short, very short, and right, and center, and around to the right, and a full count. Now Paulie says he will play behind Chambers at first. And a payoff pitch. Right off the end of the bat. One nothing bad guys here in the bottom of the second if you're just tuning in.
Breaking ball, 3-2 to load the bases. another look at it. Tries to throw him a cutter. Second walk of the inning, loading him up for a guy who has not been swinging the bat real well, and you have to hope that continues.
Sox packed with Cardinals. Outfield straight up. Big hack by Furcal. He struck out last inning on a curveball. And the count very quickly, 0-2. So 2 strikes, 2 out. Freeze, Chambers, and Westbrook from third to first.
Gall's been swinging at every breaking ball down and out of the strike zone this entire series from the left side.
There's a chopper, and they got, whoa, almost pulled him off. Man, wow. Meanwhile, they do come up with one. They lead it 1-0. And tomorrow, Chris Sale gets the starters. Our Sox charge into L.A. for a showdown with the National League West Best Dodgers. Coverage begins at 8:30 with White Sox pregame live. White Sox Dodgers tomorrow at 8:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. 1-0 St. Louis. Back-to-back doubles by Craig and Freeze, both into right center field. And they threatened for more, but didn't get it. So 6 up, 6 down for our guys by Westbrook. And here's Ramirez. Like I say, at 218 a homer, he's driven in 27. Looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 7. Westbrook picked it, and he can do that. Westbrook is a very good defender. Meanwhile, he takes a base hit away from Alexei.
And meanwhile, still only one of our hitters has hit the ball in the air. Ramirez hits this ball awfully hard. That's a tough play. He's got to bring the glove all the way around. Again, it's not to the glove side, it's to the pitching hand side. It's a long way to go for a vicious one-hopper, but he made the play nicely.
That'll bring up Hudson, hitting at 197. Takes first pitch strike. Second pitch strike.
Good movement on that fastball. That's the one that a lot of right-handers will throw right at the hands or right at the hip of the left-hand hitter, and it catches a corner. Pretty impressive so far for Jake Westbrook. One ball has left the infield.
Two down. And that was a pop up by Beckham into short center. So Gavin Floyd will be the hitter. Outfield shortens up, swings around to the right. One and one to count to our 29-year-old right-hander. That is 9 up, 9 down with 8 grounders. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Cardinals.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, makers of some of the most expertly engineered, beautifully designed, obsessively tested cars on the road today.
Now it's time for our AT&T trivia question, and it is, name the last Cardinal pitcher who led the National League in strikeouts. They've had some great pitchers here, some hard-throwing pitchers here, some Hall of Fame pitchers here. So think about all of them, and we'll get back to you a little later in the game.
Gavin Floyd taking his warm-up tosses after making the last out here in the top of the third inning. We go to the bottom third. It'll be Descalso, Holiday, and Craig. And Sox fans, join us for Argulo Sox Day, presented by Xfinity and Sierra Mist Natural on Saturday, July 7th, when we take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Argulo Sox Day features a pregame festival featuring Latin music and various giveaways, presented by Xfinity and Sierra Mist Natural. Decked out in his Black Sox jersey. Run on 2 hits, no errors for their guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for our guys. Descalso popped up to Adam Dunn in left field. Got a Jim Dandy pitching matchup tomorrow. First of that 3-game set with the Dodgers. Chris Sale against Clayton Kershaw. That's knocked down. Gordon's not going to be able to make a play, so it'll be a base hit.
First time in this series that Daniel Descalso has hit the ball with any authority whatsoever. He's back to the glove side, but Karam deadens it enough, and there is no play.
So good speed aboard, and here's Holiday. He grounded out softly to Orlando Hudson. With Sale and Kershaw, 2 of the better young left-handers in the game. Chase is a bad one.
Here's our AT&T Uverse Multiview. Holiday's grounded into 6 double plays. Actually runs pretty well for a big guy, and he is a big guy.
Jacks it up. 1-1 to count.
Dodgers have a 3.5 game lead over San Francisco. And at home, 22-11 for that Dodger ball club in a great pitcher's park.
Well, we're going to run Sale, Humber, and Quintana out there. They're going to run Kershaw, Billingsley, and Capuano. That game tomorrow night right here on Comcast Sportsnet. On Saturday on WGN, and on Sunday right back here on Comcast Sportsnet.
The game tomorrow night might be worst first team that scores wins. The Giants did lose to the Astros today, putting them 4 out. With the Diamondbacks a distant third, and the Rockies and Padres, well, they're in the same division.
2-2 pitch. Rack him up. Strong arm of Gordon Beckham. Good pitch by Gavin.
Gordon is going to stay in there. Even Descalso going in as hard as he did didn't stop him from getting off the throw. Gets him by half step. And a big double play. Nice play by Gordon, who will get the throw off.
He's just about as gutsy a second baseman as you're going to find. So here's Craig. He doubled and scored, and he's going to double again. Right down the line, hit very, very softly.
Because he hits so much to right center field, you don't expect him to pull the ball. But this is another cutter. And this cutter winds up down the line. You see Hudson so far off the line, he really has no chance whatsoever.
They'll bring up Freeze. He hit a cutter into right center field for a double. Big gap out there in left center. Curveball strike. That ball hit hard, high, and deep. It is 3-0.
Freeze has all the runs batted in. And when you talk around baseball with guys with opposite field power, Freeze is probably at or near the top of the list. That's his 13th homer, driven in 43. And it's not easy to hit the ball opposite way here. So our Ford home run replay, it's a fastball down. It was out over the plate, and it was gone.
Molina grounds out, but the damage is done. 2-run homer. We'll go the fourth trailing 3-0.
The fourth inning is brought to you by the new Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell.
Top of the fourth inning, not good. It's 3-0. 2-run homer by David Freeze, and to the bleachers in right center. He also doubled in Greg back in the second. And we have yet, through 3 innings, to have a base runner. There's the bunt. And it's a good one. They just do get him. That's a beautiful play right there by Freeze.
He anticipated it, and still it was a perfect bunt. Alejandro figures that he's going to beat that one out, but Freeze comes in with the off-balance throw and gets a whole lot on it. They've got some excellent arms in this infield. Freeze, Furcal, and Descalso. Just in the nick of time.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play. That ball hit hard by Beckham. Meanwhile, hang Wolfram as Chambers is there. Gordon's the only guy to get the ball out of the infield. That'll bring up Adam Dunn. Adam grounded out to second. Descalso was playing in short right field, as he is right now. Taking some other scores, Oakland beat the Rockies 8-2 in Denver. Mets over the Rays 9-6 down in St. Petersburg. As the count moves to 1-2 on Adam. Just tuning in, Cincinnati beat Cleveland 12-5. Tigers over the Cubs 5-3 at Wrigley. Two-two pitch. Volley on deck. And the payoff. Got him. That is 12 in a row retired by Jake Westbrook, and he leads it 3-0.
Earlier, we asked you the AT&T trivia question. It was, name the last Cardinal pitcher who led the National League in strikeouts, and the answer, Jose De Leon. If you guessed that, give yourself a cigar. 201 strikeouts in 1989. Well, they've had some great ones here, but wouldn't have guessed him. And that's all the folks in the Arch in downtown St. Louis. You can see it perfectly from the ballpark. An interesting view, certainly, but not easy to get up to if you have any type of claustrophobia or any other phobia.
Matt Adams will lead it off. He struck out his first trip back in the second inning. Takes the strike at 23 years old. Another curveball, another swing and a miss.
Well, he can hit it a long way, but apparently they didn't throw many curveballs at Quad Cities or Springfield.
So he gone. One out. That'll bring up Chambers, who was intentionally walked back in the second to get to Westbrook.
You always have to watch the bunt with Chambers. With that in mind, Orlando in at the cut of the grass at third. He'll be coming in on the grass with the pitch.
Takes the bunt, takes the strike. Baltimore leading Pittsburgh 10-5, top of the sixth at Oriole Park. Arizona at Texas, D-backs leading 4-1. That's in the bottom of the third.
I think Pittsburgh a little unhappy that they flew into Baltimore. They got a very good chance of getting swept, and Baltimore trying to win their fifth in a row, chasing the Yankees, who by the way have won 6 in a row. So the East is heating up.
He gone. 2 down.
Four strikeouts for Gavin. Sweeping breaking ball inside. AJ's done a nice job of blocking everything down tonight.
Well, the curveball's been good the last 2 starts. Fastball, though, he was beat on 4 fastballs his last time out there, and he's been beat on the fastball tonight. Every base hits either come off the fastball or the cutter. Pretty good rip right there by Westbrook. Philadelphia leading Minnesota 4-1 after 3 at Target Field. Milwaukee 1, Kansas City nothing. Bottom of the 4th at Kauffman Stadium.
Kansas City is coming here for a weekend series as we go to LA.
Curveball.
This one just slips out of his hand. And fortunately for Westbrook, misses it.
He walked him last time he was up there, and he's full on him right now. Third walk issued by Floyd, and that'll bring up for call. The call has struck out and grounded out to Beckham.
Well, he's going to play behind Westbrook, trying to get a better angle if Furcal does pull the ball.
Yanks that one foul down off the tarp. Once again, a reminder, next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Cubs at U.S. Cellular Field, so get your tickets. 8-6-6 Sox game. And the count 0-2 to Furcal. Three runs on 5 hits, no errors for their guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for our guys. If you're just joining us, Westbrook has retired 12 in a row. Westbrook was going to steal.
Well, he's giving him a huge lead. Paulie telling him, if you're going to go, let me know.
Westbrook has one stolen base. Chris Maloney, first base coach, talking to him. He gone. Strikes out the side, but he walks the pitcher. They strand one. And we're into the 5th. We need some base runners. Sox fans, Sunday, June 24th is 70s Day at U.S. Cellular Field. First 10,000 children 13 and under in the ballpark on the 24th will receive a kid's 1972 replica jersey, courtesy of all the great folks of Pepsi. There's a beautiful jersey.
A great day to be at the ballpark and get one of the better looking jerseys I believe the Sox ever wore.
Paulie hit the first pitch he saw to third base. And the count 0-2.
After 3 hits in the first game last night, Paulie failed to get the ball out of the infield. Mostly playing Pepper with Freese at third. That ball skipped well out in front of the plate. Time for Westbrook to make a mistake.
That's Souvenir right side. And that's going to be a base hit. You can cancel a post-game show. Our first runner.
There's the mistake. And it's time to try to take advantage of it with the middle part of the order. Our Nissan pitch tracks will show you that ball is well out away from Paulie. Good short swing, good plate coverage. And it turns into gold as Craig had to play deep, respecting Paulie's power.
First pitch strike. Alex, come on, guys. Let's get something going. Alex grounded out to short. Nope. Back him up. Quickly, 2 gone.
This ball's hit so hard that Furcal has all the time in the world once he gets it to take his time and just gun it across.
There's a base hit by A.J.
Now it's time for an Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible replay, and it came courtesy of Alexei Ramirez last time up, hitting it back to Westbrook, who made a tremendous catch. Saving a base hit, and at the time keeping his perfect game in order.
So here's Alexei. He had a shot back, as you just saw. Outfield straight up, spread out. And they get to force at second, and that'll retire us out. We get a couple of hits. Our first 2 base runners. We strand 1. We're halfway home. We trail it 3-0.
Hey everyone, Chuck Garfien in the studio with his O'Reilly Auto Parts Sportsnet Central update. After pitching in a rehab start a couple of days ago in the minors, John Dank says his left shoulder feels sore. He's scheduled to throw a bullpen session tomorrow. How he does and how he feels will dictate when he returns to the rotation. Bill Melton joins me later on the postgame show, but now back to St. Louis with Hawk and Steve.
All right, our Chuck, thank you very much. It's the bottom of the 5th. RBI doubled by Freese in the second, knocked in Craig, and a 2-run homer by Freese in the third, knocked in Craig. They lead it 3-0. Descalso, Holiday, and Craig for the Cardinals. Hudson right at the grass on third base as he takes ball 1. One and 2 the count to the 25-year-old infielder. Rubber match of this 3-game set. We took the opener 6-1. Jose Quintana pitching very effectively. And there's a breaking ball. He got hit hard for the base hit. That's the first curveball in his last 2 outings that's been hit for a base hit.
So Descalso, who started 2 nights in a row, starting to find that stroke. That curveball was down. saw on our Nissan pitch tracks that it was actually out of the zone. But Descalso apparently likes it down there.
So here's Holiday. He's grounded to third. He also hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Takes ball one. Line drive, and that's out number one. Looked like Alexei there for a split second. He's going to maybe try to catch it on the first bounce, and then that ball just kept carrying.
No, he went down to a knee, and it's fortunate for Descalso, who came off the bag and had to hustle back, but there was no play. That ball was scalded.
Yeah, it was. So here's Craig. He's 2 for 2. 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. Double in the right center, and then he hit a little soft double right down the third base line.
This Cardinal team leading the National League in hitting. You can see why. And if they ever got back together again, they'd be that much tougher.
That one jumps up. So wild pitch.
It's going to be the 4th wild pitch of the year for Gavin. At that point, AJ had done a very nice job of stopping everything. But this one, a little too wide of the plate, and no chance at all.
Two and 0 the count. Greg now 4 for 8 in this series.
This offense has been terrific. First in batting average, first in home runs per game. They're second. Average at home, a lofty 288. They're second. And they don't have John Jay, their starting center fielder, or Lance Berkman, who also has lost for quite some time.
Well, you know they're pretty good, defending world champions. And then if you want to add on to that, 11-time world champions.
And they've been a good organization for a long time. Their minor league system has been very productive. You look up and down the starting lineup, and you're going to see a lot of Cardinal farmhands.
Fourth walk issued by Gavin. David Freese, 10th double and 13th homer in this game.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it comes off the bat of David Freese. Line drive rocket in the gap, and then a long opposite field home run.
AJ is going to go out. Well, we talked about it from the first game on. Talked about it last night and talked about it today. He wants the ball away. You might want to think about coming in.
Holman and Stewart loosening in the pen.
Outfield really spread out around to the right. Gap out there in left center. Hudson way off the line. And there's a strike to even the count at 1. That one at 92. Took a little something off. That might help.
The Nissan pitch tracks. This ball is out of the zone. But one of the better curveballs Gavin has thrown. And he had Freese well out in front of it.
Two and two with one down. Take him right here, Gavin. Hung that one. Got away with it. A little too high. Once again, the 2-2. There was a rolling curveball, just killed, but right in front of the fence, makes the catch. Got it up out over the plate, and luckily it stayed in the park.
Fortunately, at about 398 feet, it looked like Freese caught it just off the end of the bat instead of on the sweet spot. That's the only thing kept it in the park, because he had it measured, and so does Alejandro.
So a big out, and here's Molina. Twice he has gone out to Alexei.
This is normally where Molina is most dangerous. He has not had a productive series, but he is a terrific clutch hitter.
And he's got the catbird seat. To another count to the 29-year-old receiver. Chopper, and might as well look at Yeo. Pulls him off the bag. It's going to be a tough play. So that'll load him up.
Orlando has to play deep. And unfortunately, this one not hit awfully hard. The bare hand pickup. If he gets it there, he's got him, but it's a very tough play, and he just throws it off the mark.
He made it closer than I thought it was going to be. So now, Robin out. That'll bring up Matt Adams, who has struck out twice on curveballs. Robin has his say.
You got two first-year managers going head-to-head, and Mike Matheny and Robin Ventura. Both of them getting rave reviews in their early managerial careers. One a catcher, Matheny, and a good one. One a terrific third baseman, and a wonderful hitter in Robin Ventura.
And here's the first pitch. That breaking ball down and in. And there's a strike. Well, we talked about it many times since the announcement was made. X's and O's in football are very important. X's and O's in basketball are very important. X's and O's in baseball don't mean that much.
Now, everybody knows when to bunt. Most people know occasional hit and runs and things like that.
It's handling the players.
Getting 25 guys to pull in the same direction with different agendas in many instances, certainly a lot of different experiences, and that's an art.
That pitch fouled back. So 2 out. 2-2 the count with the Sox packed with Cardinals. No, in our time frame, you had to have a manager who was good from the first pitch of the game to the last pitch of the game. Today, you better have a manager who's good from the last pitch of the game to the first pitch of the next game. And then if you can mix them both together, you got something. That curveball low, so now he is forced to make a pitch on 3-2 to a very strong young left-handed hitter.
Gavin working hard. You can tell by his uniform. It's a little more humid than it has been in this city for the last couple of days.
And the count, got him. Yowza hits the cutoff man, so you go full. Got to throw him a strike and a 2-run single. It is 5-0.
RBI's 11 and 12. And that ball just hung up out over the plate. Wasn't the curveball he's been missing. Didn't appear to be a slider. It appeared to be the last pitch that Gavin has thrown, and looked like a straight change. That is going to be it for him. So we'll step out and be back after these messages. Our Honda call to the pen is Will Oman. And Oman inherits runners at first and third, 2 outs in the inning. He's 0-2, ERA 5.40. On in relief of Gavin Floyd, who had another tough outing.
And joining us in the booth right now, a huge Sox fan down here, our governor of the great state of Illinois, Pat Quinn. And Governor,
good to see you.
What brings you to
and Steve?
St. Louis?
I'm on the other side of the river today, the Illinois side, and a lot of Redbird fans over there, but I'm a White Sox fan and couldn't miss this opportunity. You know, Gavin does have tough luck. You know, it's a 3-2 pitch and gave up that hit there. We just got to get out of this inning and score 6 in the 6th inning, huh?
There you go.
At least, you know, Cincinnati beat Cleveland, but we got to watch the Detroiters.
Yeah, they can be 4 back after if we don't win this one.
Yeah, we can do it. Got to get this man out and get out of here.
Here's Chambers with 2 out runners at the corners. Pitch misses, and we want to talk a little bit about Military Family Relief Fund.
Yeah, you know, you guys, we talked right before Memorial Day, and we have a website, operationhomefront.org, and folks can dial in and learn how to help military families, especially our trust fund that provides financial assistance to Illinois military families that are deployed. It's 1-1 now. Got to get the left-hander out. That's what Will Oman is here for, right, Steve?
Well, at this point, you just have to stop the bleeding and hope that Westbrook will get a couple of those sinkers up.
Westbrook with 2 walks tonight. Yeah.
1-1 pitch. That's into center field. We got a man there, but some damage is done. They put a 2 spot on the board. You're going to stay with us for a little bit.
Sure.
And it is 5-0 St. Louis. It's the top of the 6th inning and a 5-0 Cardinal lead in the rubber match of this 3-game set. We took the opener 6-1, and last night a terrific baseball game. Unfortunately, Jake Peavy lost it 1-0. He was just magnificent. But getting back to the Military Family Relief Fund, you got a good response the last time we talked about it.
Yes, we did, and I want to thank you guys for helping promote it. And you know, we have something called Hero Miles, where anybody who has extra frequent flyer miles can give it to a common fund that gives free airline tickets to military families that want to visit their loved one in a military hospital. That's a real good program. There's Diaz.
Hudson.
Oh,
Hudson.
Yeah.
Nice catch right there by Chambers.
See, in that last inning, we almost got that guy at first, Hawk. You know, but Hudson's on the swinging butt.
Yep.
Yeah.
He made it closer than I thought he was going to make it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you where we are. As Lillibridge coming up now to hit for Oman. Where we are, I'll tell you, we're in a situation. Robin has changed the culture.
Oh, absolutely.
And we are going on a trend line upward. And this club is going to get better and better and better.
He's a steady Eddie. Yeah. You got to have that stability. I think it certainly helped Adam Dunn and Rios. Both of them are having good years.
Manto has not been talked about enough either. He's in Beckham is starting to get some big hits for us. There's a strike.
Strike 1 to Lillibridge. I went to a charity fundraiser that Paul Canerco and his wife Jennifer had over the weekend to help Children's Home and Aid Society. And now Gordon is part of that movement too, to help kids, foster kids, and things like that. The Sox give a lot back, Stephen Hawk. We got to make sure that get some base runners here, huh?
There is ball 2. We've only had a couple of hits. If you're just tuning in, a couple of singles. Paulie got the first leading off the 5th inning, and then AJ had one.
Yeah, we've had 14 innings in St. Louis with no runs.
Jammed him right there, fouls it back, so the count evens at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. But we're going to have this is I think the 3rd or 4th night game we've had on getaway day, which is not very good.
Got to go to L.A. now.
Yeah.
Well, we got a big series. You know,
full count.
I think we had a winning streak going on the road, like 8 or 9.
8 in a row.
Yeah.
Busted last night.
Yeah, and Jake Peavy pitched a very good game.
Well, you
better believe it.
Yeah.
You can't do too much better.
Okay.
They got a man right there, and that's out number 2.
And we're hitting them where they are. Yeah.
That kid last night, Lance Lynn, was just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, he is a real thing, huh?
Yeah. Our hitters were just raving about him after the game.
Well, you know, we've got Chris Sale, and talk about a stopper. Every time the Sox have a loss, he comes up and gets us a win.
Well, we'd like to see him in Kansas City along with a few of the other guys for the All-Star game this year.
Amen.
Here's Diaz. That's some kind of pitching matchup tomorrow. Sale against Kershaw.
Ooh, yeah, got to watch that one.
Probably 2 of the 3 best young left-handers in the game going at one another.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. Big crowd, I hope. This guy's had a great year, Diaz. You know,
he set the table.
Yeah. You got to have a good leadoff man. Rudy Law, remember 83 there?
77 stolen bases.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And that's in the left field. That's a base hit. So the 2-out single by Diaz. Good speed aboard. He is 13 for 18 in stolen bases.
Yeah, you know, a lot of our deployed service members, they'd love to be here tonight, Hawk and Steve, but they're far away from home, so all of us on the home front have to take good care of their family and their needs. And that's what our website does, the operationhomefront.org. It gives specific ideas to the fans on how they can help a military family or a service member, and we shouldn't forget that.
And Governor, I know this was your idea many years ago when you were Lieutenant Governor. How much you figure you've raised at this point to help our servicemen?
$13 million. The people of Illinois have given. Even little kids have fundraisers and then give the money to the Military Family Relief Trust Fund. It's helped over 25,000 Illinois military families in a little less than 10 years. And
there's a base hit.
There we go. Gordon's starting to hit, huh?
Yes, he is. Yeah. And I want to tell you, when he starts it, and all of a sudden you got Diaza, and now you got the 2-hole being filled by Beckham, it's really going to set the table for Adam, Paulie, and Rios and Pierzynski.
Well, we need a big fly right here, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. He really crushed one on Monday night, didn't he?
431 feet, I believe it was.
Yeah. Wow, 430. What a difference between last year, huh?
Well, last year he hit 11.
Yeah.
This year he's got 21, on his way to 40 plus, I believe. This should be a good matchup for him. He's a low ball pitcher, and Adam loves the ball down.
Well, the funny thing about it, he's faced him 11 times. He's only had 2 hits, both upstate in the park.
Yeah.
That ball hit hard. Stay in the air. He just looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes, right back in this ball game. A 3-run shot, and it's a 5-3 St. Louis lead. Mercy. The big fly, you say.
He went after that first pitch, too.
That's 50 he's driven in.
5-0.
22 home runs, 50 runs driven in.
Yeah.
Home run number 387, our Ford home run replay. Adam just takes it straight out over the center field wall. A no-doubt line drive rocket.
You could have hung out all the drawers in Cook County on that one.
Well, that's what we like to see. You got to keep the line moving here, Hawk.
And here's Paulie. Paulie, 1 for 2. Of course, with that home run by Adam, the Alex Nellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 79. So $7,900 donated by Alex Nellius in loving memory of Ursula. Don't stop now, boys. All is coming with 2 out, nobody on.
How about it? Yeah, because Diaza getting that hit, and then Gordon with a single to the right. First pitch to Adam, and we're within 2. What are your Paul's having here, huh?
Oh, he's just getting better and better.
Another guy that should wind up easily in Kansas City.
I sure hope so. We got to make sure the fans remember our all-stars. I was talking to Matt Thornton over the weekend. He's had more appearances. Ground ball short.
And Furcall's got it. But the 3-run homer by Adam Dunn. And it's a 5-3. We got ourselves a ball game. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks a million, Hawk. Thank you, Steve. Take care.
Last night the pitchers took over. Not only did Jake Peavy throw real well, but Matt Cain had a perfect game, the 22nd in Major League history, the first in Giants history. He tied Sandy Koufax for the most strikeouts in a perfect game with 14. We saw Lance Lynn up close and personal. He was overwhelming. That's a career high with 12 strikeouts on his 10th win. And R.A. Dickey with just 1 hit. That being disputed, by the way, a bare hand in the first inning. They thought maybe it was an error. We'll see what happens, but that was his 10th win. So it was a pitcher's night.
Well, you could have had Jake Peavy's face up there, too. He was awesome, giving him just the 1 run. But right here, we're back in this ball game.
Zach Stewart at 1-1, ERA 5.40. And it's a 2-run deficit. That's it.
And here is Shane Robinson hitting for Westbrook. Westbrook, by the way, went to the place twice and walked twice. So 1 out. It'll bring it for call. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Governor really gets into it, doesn't he? I'll tell you.
He loves the game.
He does. He gets into it.
And I think he wants to be a broadcaster.
Well, Ronald Reagan was.
He was. Whatever happened to him?
There's a strike. He gets into it. Five runs, 8 hits, no errors for their guys. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for our guys. Hudson. And that's out number 2.
Sanchez throwing in the bullpen. He'll come into this one.
Descalso, he's 2 for 3. Started off that 2-run 5th with a base hit between first and second on a curveball. That's the only base hit given up on a curveball by Gavin Floyd in his last 2 starts. All the rest have been fastballs or cutters.
Might want to end this one with Descalso before you get to Holiday. With Jesse Crane loosening.
Two out, 1 and 2 the count. Got to nip him on the outside corner. And that's chop foul. And join the White Sox on June 23rd at 6:15 as we take on the Brewers. First 20,000 fans receive a White Sox magnetic photo frame presented by U.S. Cellular. Stick around after the game for post-game fireworks as well. That's June 23rd. Purchase your tickets today by calling 866 Sox Game. And another chop foul. Outfield playing most of these guys straight up, fairly deep in center, and spread out. Ball hit hard off the glove of Pauly. I don't see that very often.
We'll wait for an official ruling on that one.
They rule it an error. That's his first error of the season. And here is Holiday. Holiday is grounded to third, hit into a 6-4-3 double play and lined hard to short. Descalso is 2 for 3 in stolen bases. Two and 0 the count with Craig on deck.
Zach's given up 6 home runs this year in 24 innings of work. And he's fallen behind Holiday in very much a hitter's count.
Nice. On a tricky hop right there. Gordon made the play. And that'll retire the side. We're into the 7th. We trail it by 2. And weeknights, the Chicago Tribune live on Comcast Sportsnet. Tomorrow, the Tribune's Paul Sullivan, the scorer's Matt Abatacola, and Harry Carey's Frankie O join host David Kaplan to discuss the day's hottest sports topics and set the table for the night ahead. Chicago Tribune Live, presented by Captain Morgan. Weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Eduardo Sanchez comes into the game, and he's trying to protect the 2-run lead. ERA 270, on for the 11th time. He's been awfully good, but the one problem, although nobody hits him very well, the one problem is he has trouble getting the ball over the plate, and we'll have to hope that that continues tonight.
Alex Rios will lead it off. If you're just tuning in, Cardinals with 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. That was an opposite field homer by David Freese. He also knocked 1 in the 2nd with a double. And then they added 2 big ones in the 5th. Made it 5-0. Then with 2 out, nobody on, Diaz a single, Beckham singled, and Dunn hit the first pitch, a rocket out of here. Right over that center field fence. So here we go. Alex has grounded to short and hit a ball very hard to the second baseman when they turned it into a 4-6-3 double play. First ball, Hunting pops it up right side. 1 pitch, 1 out. So that'll bring up AJ, who was grounded to second, and then single sharply into left field. Takes ball 1. We mentioned Sale against Kershaw tomorrow night, opening up that 3-game set in Los Angeles, and that game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. It will be a 9:10 Central Time start. There's the strike. On Saturday, Philip Humber against Chad Billingsley, and that game over WGN at 9:10 as well. And the finale of that set in the 6-day road trip, Jose Quintana against Chris Capuano. And that game right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. That'll be a 3:10 Central start.
A resurgent Chris Capuano, who has resurrected his career after a lot of arm problems with the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, he's found it in L.A.
8-2 with a 2.87. Breaking ball, chops it foul.
There are the matchups. It's a great park to pitch in most of the time, especially at night. Sunday game, a day game. It's a little livelier in the daytime.
That breaking ball, good pitch to hit. He pops it up into left. And that is out number 2.
Jake Westbrook went 6 innings, gave up all 3 runs on 5 hits. He didn't walk anybody. That was one of the keys. Got a big double play when he had to in the 5th inning, and he struck out 1, giving way to Sanchez. And the big man responsible for the 3 runs, he's driven in 50 on 22 bombs.
Twice as many as he had last year.
Just an astounding turnaround for the big man.
Much out. That got him. That was a breaking ball.
I told you about the control of Sanchez, which occasionally isn't quite where he wants it to be, and that got him on the hip. Of course, there isn't a whole lot of hip to get hit, but that's where it got him.
Well, that hip's got most of it on it.
It's true.
So here's Hudson. Bounce back to the pitcher and then lined out to center. And that ball all the way back. Now pick him up. Orlando.
That is a wild pitch for Sanchez. Last year he was up. Pitched in 26 games as they brought him up late. 3-1 record, a 180 earned run average. It was always the case with him. Nobody hits him very well. 14 hits in 30 innings. But did walk 16, and that's been his problem.
Well, the Yadier just told him, take a deep breath, settle down.
And throw the ball to me.
There he's taking that deep breath. And the 1-0. It's hard to get hits off a guy if he's all over the place.
Especially with a very good arm. However, not much sense of the strike zone.
That's foul, and that's not going to be playable. Two out. 2 balls a strike. Alexei at second. And that's foul. So the count evens at 2. Just getting home. Cincinnati beat Cleveland 12-5. Detroit beat the Cubs 5-3. So as we speak right now, we're in front of the Indians by 2, the Tigers by 4.5. Just did nick it. Just did get a piece of it. Cleveland with a record of 32-30. Tigers a record of 30-33. And a full count. Viciato on deck. Ball 4 base hit right here, Orlando. And that's ball 4. And here comes Matheny. He wants somebody else down in that pen. All right. Victor Marte will be coming on for Sanchez, and we'll be back. And a reminder on Monday, June 18th, when our Sox take on the Cubs at 7:10, Miller Lite will give one lucky fan the chance to pitch for $1 million. $1 million. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
Our Honda call to the pen is Victor Marte. He inherits runners at first and second, 2 outs, on for the 28th time. The ERA just under 4. He doesn't have a record. He's only walked 7 in 27 1/3. It was control that did in Sanchez. And maybe a base hit will help get us a little closer.
Marte is 31 years old, 6'2", 255 pounds, out of Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic.
And Viciedo steps up, getting his first opportunity.
2 on, 2 out. We trail by 2. Lays off that first ball, breaking ball.
Runners in scoring position, and that's where Diane finds himself. He's been great since April 29th and very good overall.
Big hack. Pulling himself right off the pitch, though, last few days. That breaking ball high in the right center field. Craig is there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. So we have a mild threat. Can't score. 7th inning stretch. It is 5-3 Cardinals.
Bottom of the 7th, and it's Jesse Crain coming into this one at 1-0. The ERA just dropped below 2, on for the 19th time. He inherits a 2-run deficit at 5-3. He'd like to hold it right there as he goes through the middle of the order, which has been terribly productive for these Cardinals here tonight.
Craig frees Molina. Craig is 2 for 2, a walk, and 3 runs scored. Takes that one up high. He's hitting .358 as he stands up to that dish. Got that unique cocking action. A little bit like a former outfielder for the Atlanta Braves and a couple other clubs Rico Carty had.
If he is close to the career of Rico Carty, he's going to be real good.
That's the way Rico set up his swing, with that little move at the head of the bat going towards the first base dugout.
Big and strong and could hit rockets all over.
And a great guy.
And didn't trust anybody because he played with his wallet in his back pocket.
Yeah, and it's a good thing nobody ever took it, because if he caught them,
Yeah,
they were in trouble.
That was a problem. Big man.
Good with his hands. Two and two the count. Alan Craig leading off here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, we go to Los Angeles after the game. Pittsburgh is going to go to Cleveland to play the Indians, and Colorado will be in Detroit to play the Tigers.
Well, they're going to get to their place before we get to our place. That's fouled back.
The Cardinal pen is ready to go. The left-hander, Freeman, throwing. You got Diaza and Dunn sandwiched around Beckham in the 8th.
Popped up right side. Beckham, long way to go. He's there. Makes the catch easily for out number 1. That'll bring up David Freese. RBI double, a 2-run homer. And then he just missed another one, taking Diaza up against the fence in center field. That ball's hit hard, but we got a man there. 2 down. $43,464. Twelfth sellout of the season. Here's Molina. Had that little swinging infield bunt that really caused a lot of problems. In fact, it caused 2 runs to score. Because that loaded the bases, and then Matt Adams got a 3-2 pitch and hit it for a 2-run single.
And that drove Gavin Floyd from the mound. Back in the 5th.
Two and two. 2 out. It'll be the top of the order for us in the top of the 8th. Diaza, Beckham, Dunn, Canerco, Rios, AJ, and maybe, hopefully, 1 or 2 more.
Molina did a nice job of staying alive there because that looked like a wipeout pitch.
They got 3 guys, right-hand hitters in this club that have outstanding coverage. Craig,
Freeze,
Molina. Holiday's not bad. Full count. Payoff pitch. A sea of red each and every night here in St. Louis. And another souvenir. And he finally walks him. A 9-pitch at bat by Yadier, and that'll bring up Matt Adams. Gavin struck him out first 2 times up on curveballs down. And that fateful fifth with 2 out, bases loaded. Couldn't get him down. Went full 3-2 on him. And that's when he lined the single to center. Short lead by Molina. In on the fist and fouls it back.
Gavin got one up. Looked like a straight change. Whatever it was turned into RBIs 11 and 12. And that was the last pitch that Gavin threw tonight.
Here he goes.
Reminds me a little bit about like Johnny Bench in that situation. You completely forget about him. And then despite being a catcher, he takes off. That's his 6th stolen base of the year. He's only been gunned down 1 time.
You got that.
You get a running start. I don't care who's throwing behind the plate. When the guy gets a running start, you got problems.
1-1 pitch. Thing that hurts a lot too is Jesse's got the best right-handed move in this league.
Just didn't expect it from Molina.
Well, he was 5 for 6.
Yes, he was.
Now he's 6 for 7. High into center field. Diaza. So Jesse pitches over it, and we'll go to the 8th. It is 5-3 St. Louis.
Hey everyone, Chuck Arfon here in our downtown Chicago studios with a Geico Sportsnet Central update. The Indians got swept by the Reds today, losing 12-5. Meanwhile, the Tigers beat the Cubs today at Wrigley. Justin Verlander wins for the first time in a month. White Sox postgame live comes your way after the final out, but now back to St. Louis. Hawks, Steve, take it away.
Hi there, Chuck. Thank you. Top of the 8th inning. 5-8-0 for the Cardinals. 3-5-1 for our Sox. And a reminder, fans, pack your tent because our Sox Camp Out, presented by Outdoor Channel and Xfinity and Bass Pro Shops, is Friday, June 29th. You can sleep on the field, watch the game from the scoreboard, and participate in fun activities. Tickets are on sale right now. While you can watch that game from the field, we'll be playing the Yankees. So to purchase or for more information, visit whitesox.com/campout. Here's Diaza. He's 1 for 3. Started off that 3-run 6 with a 2-out single. Let's have a redo right here, boys. Pulled the string, had him way out in front. 1-1 to count.
Boggs the right-hander, Freeman the left-hander.
Another changeup and a big out number 1. So here's Gordon. Gordon 1 for 3. Popped up to center, lined hard to center, and then hit a bullet into right field for a base hit in the 6th. Breaking ball strike. Another breaking ball and the count 0-2. Bottom of the 8th in Kansas City, 3-2 Milwaukee. Bottom of the 8th in Minnesota, 5-1 Philadelphia. Our Chuck told you Cincinnati. Well, they swept the Indians. They beat them 12-5 today. Tigers over the Cubs 5-3. Takes it up. He did not go. Bottom of the 7th in Texas, 9-1 Arizona. Mets beat the Rays down in St. Pete 9-6. Oakland over the Rockies 8-2 in Denver. Houston, after having a perfect game thrown against them by Matt Cain yesterday, as he gets him. And that's out number 2.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And here's our Miller moment. A 3-run bomb by Adam Dunn. His 22nd. He's driven in 50. And it's made it at the time where it stands now. A 5-3 game.
To another count with Konerko on deck. One other final. Baltimore doubled up Pittsburgh 12-6. There's that changeup. Got a big motion with it.
They don't have a great bullpen. They do have some young guys out there struggling to get better.
Three and 1 to count to Began. And the payoff pitch. And that's ball 4. And here comes Matheny.
Apparently he wants to go to Mitchell Boggs, who has a lot more experience than Marte. So Marte will depart. We'll step out and be back after these messages.
Follow our Sox with the MLB.com @BAT12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit WhiteSox.com for details.
Our Honda call to the pen is Mitchell Boggs. 0-1 ERA, 2.63. On for the 28th time. Boggs came on. He gave up a 2-run homer to AJ in the 8th inning of the opening game of this series. He pitched 2/3, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, and did not factor in the decision, but had his ERA massaged. And Jordan Dinks comes on to pinch run.
So here's Paulie. Paulie 1 for 3 tonight, 4 for 11 in the series. Breaking ball, grabs the strike. Boggs, 28 years old. Now the University of Georgia. That one misses to even the count at 1. Big pitch right here. Advantage Boggs. 1-2 the count. Pretty good lead by Danks. And that pitch is popped up. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, still trailing 5-3. Stick around after the game for White Sox Postgame Live. Tune in for all the highlights and analysis from our Chuck and Bill Melton. So don't miss White Sox Postgame Live immediately following the game on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Jordan Danks stays in the game in left field after coming on a pinch run. And Matt Thornton comes into this one at 2-3, ERA 3.04. Does have 1 save and 22 strikeouts, 7 walks in 26 2/3.
Ron Chambers will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 with an intentional walk. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Good play if you can drag it by the pitcher, and a very bad one if you don't. So Tyler Green comes on a pinch hit. That will most likely bring Jason Mott into the game to try to protect, hopefully, just a 2-run lead.
Green hitting in .217, 4 homers and 14 knocked in. Takes ball 1. Green played in the opener and went 2 for 4.
And there's the hard throwing right-hander.
2 down.
Green hit the ball hard, but Matt Thornton right there to knock it down. He helps to have quick hands on the mound.
That'll bring up for call, who's 0 for 4 tonight. A couple of strikeouts, a grounder to second and a grounder to third. For our guys, it'll be Rios, Pierzynski, and Ramirez in the 9th. And there's a base hit. He is now 1 for 24. Broken 0 for 23 streak. Descalso. He's 2 for 4 with a run scored. For call, 9 for 11 in stolen bases. Just a decent lead. Can't get it. Our Sox have won 11 consecutive interleague series on the road since '08.
It's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. Well, we are Major League best. 55-25 is Paulie. He gone. And that'll retire the side. We go to the ninth. We got 3 outs to get at least 2.
It's a 5-3 game, and Jason Mott comes on. He is the closer. First year that he's ever been a full-time closer. He's got 12 of them. 3-3, ERA 3.58 on for the 26th time. 26 strikeouts in 27 2/3 innings. Upper 90s fastball.
And here's Rios. Alex is due. He's 0 for 3. Big gap out there in left center. Checks it up.
He says he swung. Appeal to Jeff Nelson. It's a slider. But it going around a little too far.
That's popped up into short right center field. Chambers is there. So a big out. The first out. It'll bring up AJ, who's 1 for 3. AJ grounded to second, singled in the 5th, then went out to left in the 7th. What's the holdup?
Alex might have been thrown out of the game. I think he might have made a comment on that check swing that the boys in blue took exception to, and I think they gave the heave-ho to Rios.
He threw him out?
Yep. That's what he said. He's going to ask Jeff Nelson if you threw him out. After Alex rounded first base, he just turned his head and said something to Jeff Nelson, and whatever it was enough. Now watch his head as he turns around, looks at Nelson. You can see his mouth moving a touch. Can't lip read from that angle, but
as that is out number 2. So we're down to our last out, and Alexei still looking for his first hit in this series. He is 0 for 9. Out of play right side. Come on, Alexei. Let's get something started with 2 outs, buddy. Hudson on deck. And that's into right field, going foul and not playable. Just joining us, starters Westbrook and Floyd. Gavin, another tough outing. 4 2/3, 5 runs earned, 7 hits, 4 walks, 1 intentional, 5 strikeouts. The 0-2.
He got 100 that time. Try to heat him upstairs with his best fastball.
And this ball game is over. So the Cardinals take the series. They win the rubber match 5-3. And as I just mentioned, Steve, another tough outing for Gavin.
It really was tonight. Once again, having some problems, maybe with pitch selection as much as anything else, because they hit his fastball, they hit his cutter, and he just failed to get through the 5th inning. So for him, very disappointing start. The team did battle back on a 3-run homer by Dunn, but at the end, too little, too late.
And for the first time in 12 series since 08 in the Interleague Series, we have lost a road series. So our GMC player of the game, it is the third baseman, David Freese, an RBI double in the second, a 2-run homer in the third. Our GMC player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor Mean Joe Groove, up here in the booth Ross Neal, Sarah Lynch, and down in the truck and sound Colin Brown. Colin Brown did a good job. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, now part of the NBC Sports Group.